There are stories in history that grip the imagination, refusing to let go. They evoke a sense of wonder, awe, and an insatiable need to know the truth. One such story belongs to a woman who defied the odds, the expectations of her time, and the limits of human courage. Welcome to Whispers in the Dark as we explore the story of Amelia Earhart. Remember to like and subscribe. Tonight, we unravel the mystery of the unsolved disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Mary Earhart was born on July 24, 1897, in Atchison, Kansas. She grew up during a time when the world's expectations for women were limited to roles within the home. But even as a child, Amelia was different. She was fascinated by the world outside her small town, by the idea of exploration, and by the allure of breaking free from the boundaries society had set for her. Little did she know that her fascination would one day lead her into the pages of history. Her first significant encounter with aviation came in 1920, when she attended an air show in Long Beach, California. It was there, seated in an aircraft flown by pilot Frank Hawks, that Amelia experienced the thrill of flight for the first time. In that moment, something within her shifted. An unshakable desire to fly was born. A mere 6 months later, she had saved enough money to take flying lessons, becoming one of the first women to take to the skies in an era when aviation was still in its infancy. In 1921, Amelia purchased her first plane, a bright yellow Keen Air Airster she affectionately named the Canary. She quickly developed her skills, setting her sights on breaking records. Her determination paid off when, in 1922, she set her first aviation record by becoming the first woman to fly solo to an altitude of 14,000 feet. But this was only the beginning of a career that would soon shatter glass ceilings and open the skies to generations of female aviators. By 1928, Amelia had become the first woman to fly across the Atlantic, though she did so as a passenger rather than a pilot. This achievement brought her international fame, but it left her unsatisfied. Amelia had not crossed the Atlantic as a pilot, and she yearned for a flight that would prove her abilities as an aviator. She would get her chance in 1932, when she flew solo across the Atlantic Ocean, from Newfoundland to Ireland. The journey was fraught with challenges, strong winds, mechanical issues, and exhaustion, but Amelia triumphed, becoming the first woman to make the solo transatlantic flight. The world hailed her as a hero, but for Amelia, it was simply another step on her path to greatness. Despite her many achievements, Amelia was not one to rest on her laurels. This was to be her crowning achievement, a feat that would solidify her place as one of the greatest aviators in history. On June 1, 1937, Amelia and Fred Noonan set out from Miami, Florida, in her Lockheed Electra. All that stood between her and history was the vast and treacherous Pacific. On July 2, 1937, Amelia and Fred Noonan departed from Loe, New Guinea, headed for Howland Island. It was a journey of over 2,500 miles, a stretch of ocean with little to no land in sight. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca was stationed near Howland Island to assist with radio navigation, but as the hours passed, the communication between the Electra and the Itasca became increasingly sporadic and disjointed. Amelia's last known transmission was heard at 8:43 a.m. local time. Her voice was calm but urgent as she reported, "We are on the line, 157,337. We are running north and south." The Itasca attempted to respond, but there was no reply. Amelia Earhart, Fred Noonan, and the Lockheed Electra had vanished. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart sent shockwaves around the world. The U.S. Navy and Coast Guard immediately launched an extensive search operation, covering over 250,000 square miles of ocean. 4 days, ships and aircraft scoured the area, looking for any sign of the missing plane. But as the days turned into weeks, the likelihood of finding Amelia alive began to fade. On July 19, 1937, the search was officially called off. In 1940, British colonial officer Gerald Gallagher found human bones on Gardner Island, Nauni Kumaro, along with a sextant box, remnants of shoes, and other items. Initial measurements suggested that the bones could have belonged to a woman of European descent. But, in a twist that added to the mystery, The bones were later lost, and modern forensic analysis, using photographs of the skeletal remains, has yielded inconclusive results. Could these bones have been Amelia's? Some researchers argue that Earhart and Noonan crash-landed on Nikumaroro and survived as castaways, living off the island's resources until they succumbed to the elements. Over the years, expeditions to the island have uncovered more clues, including fragments of aircraft, tools, and personal items. But despite these intriguing finds, definitive proof of Earhart's presence on the island remains elusive. Then, there's the ocean crash theory, the most widely accepted explanation. The general consensus is that Amelia's plane ran out of fuel and plunged into the Pacific. Numerous efforts have been made to locate the wreckage, but the vastness and depth of the Pacific Ocean present enormous challenges. Organizations such as the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, TIAR, have spent decades searching for the plane's remnants. But despite advanced technology and detailed mapping, the wreckage remains elusive. In recent years, the search for Amelia Earhart's Lockheed Electra has advanced significantly, thanks to cutting-edge technology. Sonar scans and deep-sea submersibles have scoured parts of the ocean where Amelia's plane is believed to have gone down. Yet no definitive traces of the Electra have been found. In 2019, ocean explorer Robert Ballard, known for discovering the Titanic's wreckage, led an expedition to Nikumaroro to explore its waters and surrounding ocean floor. Although the mission didn't uncover the wreckage, it reignited interest in the mystery. Ballard's team remains optimistic that future technological advancements might finally provide the answer to one of aviation's greatest unsolved mysteries. While the search for Amelia Earhart's final resting place continues, her legacy remains larger than life. She wasn't just a pilot, she was a pioneer, an advocate for women's rights, and a symbol of fearlessness in the face of adversity. Her daring spirit opened the skies for future generations, proving that there were no limits to what a woman could achieve. Amelia once said, "The most effective way to do it is to do it," and she lived by that motto every day. Her legacy isn't simply defined by her disappearance, but by the doors she opened for women across the globe. Amelia Earhart may be gone, but the impact she made on the world of aviation and beyond is undeniable. Decades after her disappearance, the world continues to search for answers. Theories abound, and while we may never truly know what happened to Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan, their story endures. Was it a simple navigational error, or was there something more sinister involved? Did they survive on a remote island, or did the ocean claim them? The truth remains hidden, buried somewhere beneath the waves or lost in the sands of time. In the end, Amelia Earhart's story is one of hope, perseverance, and mystery. She chased the horizon, and though she never returned, her spirit still flies. And so, we are left with Whispers in the Dark, a tale of a woman who dared to dream, and whose disappearance continues to captivate the world. As we close this chapter of Amelia Earhart's story, we are reminded that some mysteries are never meant to be solved. The world may never know the truth of what happened on that fateful day, 1937, but Amelia Earhart's story will live on, forever etched into the history of human achievement and exploration. Thank you for joining us tonight as we explored the unsolved disappearance of one of history's greatest adventurers. Until next time, remember, some mysteries are never fully at rest, and in the darkest corners of history, there are always whispers waiting to be heard.